This video includes stuff that are behind the scenes, like what the camera can't see, but also how some of the stuff works. So this might actually be kind of useful if you're making a game yourself, because I'm going into some of how things work. Anyways, as you can see, we're starting off with a naked building. This is the building that you spawn in, right? This is the building that you spawn in. This is the first building. See? You recognized it? You're never gonna be behind the building, so the building is completely it's naked. It's that's not the only naked building. This is the second building. You can see it's also naked. When you play, you're looking out here. So yeah, this building is also completely naked. You might also have noticed these background towers. These only serve as decoration. There's nothing inside them, so at least they're not naked. They're completely they have walls on all four sides. Now here we are at the third building, right? This is the third building in the Cloud Theater. Now you might already know that in Cloud Theater, some of the walls like disappear and reappear, because yeah, it's a dream. This one actually only has one disappearing wall. I don't even get, I don't, most people don't even notice it, but the wall I'm standing right now, what I'm facing, this wall will disappear, right? See this carpet section? If you're in the middle of the carpet section, that's the indicator that you'll send to the game that will make the game just destroy this wall. So as long as you pass this middle section, this wall will disappear. There is something that happens in the game. If you're detected to go into the third building, and once you enter an outside area, like for example on top of the third building, a certain sneak peek will spawn on the roof of the final building. And remember, that only happens if you go into the third building and you walk out. So technically, if you go in the third building and you walk out immediately, you probably couldn't see that. The last thing I really want to talk about is this Cloud Seeder train, which by the way, I'm thinking of making it look better in the final game. But anyways, you might notice there is red force fields and blue force fields that did not appear in the final game, right? Thing is, these force fields are actually the train's hitbox. What you see, the doors itself, the ground, the grass, those aren't even the hitbox. That's not what you collide with. These turn invisible when you join the game. These borders are actually what you collide with. So yeah, the entire thing is just a bunch of borders, really. And then the blue borders are the borders that disappear whenever the door is open. So yeah, everything is basically just for looks except for the borders. Let's go a little bit backwards. Let's talk about reality. You know, before you enter the dream world. So this is pretty interesting. First of all, if you think there's anything beyond, you know, these roads, there's really nothing. What you can explore in the game is pretty much all the map is. There's not really anything hidden like in the fog. You might recognize this building. This is the building that you are supposedly working at. This is the building that you, whenever you actually spawn in, like you can play, you spawn in over here, right? Building's right behind you, because you just got fired. You can take a guess on what this building has. I'll give you a hint. It is a restaurant, right? So when you walk in, do you think there's gonna be dining tables? You think there's gonna be truth be told, there's absolutely, this entire building is the cutscene that plays at the beginning. You see, you guys recognize this cutscene. This is where you wash the dishes. So basically, this entire building is a kitchen, because you know, why would I model like the rest of the restaurant when you're not gonna get to the rest of the restaurant? Just show you around the entire room. This kitchen is where you wash dishes. You know, we also got these signs. Probably couldn't read them. Employees only sign. This fire note. This is the place where that cutscene plays, and that is, yeah. And this is your little neighborhood over here. There's 4 houses. This one being yours. Now in the game, it doesn't exactly tell you how to get to your house. There's no path you follow. But the game still subconsciously gives you hints on which of these houses is yours. First of all, this is the closest house, you know, to your main path. Second of all, this house is the only one that has a red color. All the other houses are yellow. And also, this house is the only one with a front porch light. All the other ones have their front porch lights off. So the game might not tell you directly where your house is, but you know, if you see it, you know it's your house. I didn't give like direct instructions on where to go. Uh, I only give like vague hints on where to go because I still want you to feel like you're exploring. Even if there's only like one pathway, I still want there to be an exploration feel. So if you go inside these yellow houses, you'll also notice there's nothing in them. There's no furniture. Whenever you wake up, you know, like after the doorbell rings, you know, it turns daytime, right? However, you can't really see most of the reality when it's daytime because, well, you're stuck in your house. But let me just show you around the daytime area, just so you can see what it looks like. So you see, this is your house during daytime. Here's the package that you're supposed to find. It looks pretty cool, in my opinion. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering why this building doesn't exist anymore, actually it's coded that this entire building's deleted after you're done, after you fell asleep. So let's move on to Dream Elementary. First thing you might notice in Dream Elementary is, well, this room kind of looks less pretty, right? It looks something off about it. There's no sunlight. There's no sunlight on this whiteboard, and the reason why is because this wall blocks the sunlight from reaching, well, the room, right? So then why can you see the sunlight when you play the game? Basically, in Dream Elementary, this is the only dream that does this, by the way. When, depending on the room you're in, the lighting can change. Now, surprisingly, you can actually notice this lighting change in game. So you might be able to try this for yourself if you don't believe me. But you can see, if I walk out this little yellow hallway zone, you can see the lights in Miss C's room are changing, right? And there's a better place to see this, okay? Let me quickly open this maze door real quick. This is the door that leads you to the dream journal, by the way. You see, if I step in and out this hallway, it's very clear the lighting is changing. And you can even see the sunlight from the window is literally appearing out of thin air. It's literally appearing out of thin air. You see, if I edge this hallway, there's actually a 4-minute long music track that only plays when you're in the bathroom. I also want to tell you guys something. I'm pretty sure most of you guys watching this video has already played the game, so this won't really be useful information. But you can actually hide under these lunch tables. And I know some of you guys actually tried it and it didn't work. Why did it not work? Because you have to turn your body 90 degrees and then you have enough width to actually get below the table. Now, I know it's pretty stupid how you have to turn your body 90 degrees to hide. And it is stupid. So in the final game, I'll be changing hiding under the table. Here we're in the lunch line. And if you're wondering what's behind, what's behind here, let me just show you guys. It's just a cut. It's pretty empty, really. And yeah, it's mostly just decoration. And behind here, we literally go out into the void. So this place might seem like just decoration, but it has another purpose too. It has a gameplay purpose. Even if you can never go in this area, I'll show you what the gameplay purpose is in a bit. Notice Miss C's eye is a little bit too realistic, right? It's a little bit, and this is actually because Miss C's eye is a floating image. So if you see if I go to the left or if I go to the right of Miss C, her appearance is completely broken. So yeah, this is why you'll only see Miss C's front, because yeah, this is just so ugly. You will never. So as you guys know, after the dialogue ends, the dangerous part happens. However, the monster, which is called Untrusted Adult, if you guys are wondering where he spawns, let me quickly go to where he spawns. He spawns over here. See, he just spawned over here. And yeah, he can just casually just walks through, everything. So yeah, this is the one gameplay purpose of this little room behind the lunch line. That's where the Untrusted Adult spawns. See, in this little painting over here, if I were to do this and I look back, you see this painting slightly changed, right? Yeah, it did. If you didn't notice the change, that's too bad. I actually can't see any of the outer space stuff until you get to the top of the staircase, which is kind of weird, right? And you want to know why? There's actually a completely black part over here, and since the sky is also black, the black part blends in with the sky, so it makes it look like the black part is actually hiding part of the house. So yeah, that's the black part that hides the planet ring. Here we are in the afternoon section, which I personally think is the prettiest part of Dream Elementary. What do you guys think? What do you guys think is more prettier, the beginning or the afternoon section? Let me know. Like, I actually want to know. Here we are in a grassy beach. Now, I actually won't say much about this one because if you're wondering about how, if you play the game, you'll notice a system where if you walk out too far, you're going to teleport backwards. The thing is, I actually explained how this worked in one of my devlogs. So if you want to wonder how that works, just look at the devlog. I'm not going to say stuff I already said. But yeah, just actually, besides that, that was the only interesting part about this game. There's nothing else much to say. And if you're wondering what these red walls are, these are just the detectors on if you walk too far. So this is the size of the actual map. A little bit of stuff I want to mention in the twist. First of all, 2 walls. You see these 2 walls I've highlighted? You know, when you first join the twist, these walls, well, you can't go past them. However, if you've played the game, after you trigger subconscious dread to spawn, after you trigger him to spawn, these walls will suddenly disappear. And that's when you can start actually collecting the coins. So yeah, it works. First of all, I'm pretty sure everyone knows this at this point. He teleports when you're not looking at him. But I don't want to call it teleporting. It's more like it's a dream. So what you're not looking at, you know, your mind can change what you're not looking at because like it's a dream. So I don't really want to call it teleporting, even if it is really just teleporting like in the game sense. But in the lore sense, it's not really teleporting, I would say. You see, he just if you're wondering how the quote unquote teleporting works, basically if you're not looking at him, he's gonna teleport to 1 out of like, I don't know, 20 teleport parts in this map. He's gonna try to teleport close to you, but he can't teleport too close to you, or that'd be unfair. But he's gonna try to find the nearest one to teleport to. He also tries to teleport in front of you, like in front of your vision. So if I look that way, he's probably gonna teleport that way. And I made it like this because I want him to like intercept where you're going. This also means you can actually manipulate where he teleports if you like look in the opposite direction of where you're going. And you can also make him not teleport at all if you just stare at him, because you know you can. The last thing I want to say about subconscious dread is that he actually is local to your player. If you don't know what that means if you're playing multiplayer, each player has their own monster. So like for example, like your monster the monster is in a different position in everybody's screens, which is actually, it makes it a little bit scary because that means your friends can't distract the monster, like it will always be targeting you. So yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to say about the twist. And the last thing that I want to say about this video in general. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you learned some interesting things about this game. And yeah, join the Discord server, I guess, if you're interested. I put sneak peeks and like stuff in there. Also, I know you guys probably want me to say something about when the final game comes out. It's gonna take a while because, you know, I'm making this game by myself. Like, it's gonna take a while.